Go ahead and sit down, sit comfy. Yeah, there she is. There she is. Perfect. All right, look down at your toes and look for that imaginary line. Make sure you don't have one foot further in front of the other foot, but instead they're nice and even. Go ahead and press the heels down, let the toes lift, spread the toes nice and wide, and then gently let the toes come back down. So there's no gripping of the toes at all. It's just like a little feather laying on top of the floor. And then you press those heels again and press them so much that you really start to feel the quadriceps begin to engage. And then, of course, find your default, right? So, with your default, are you leaning forward? Are you leaning back? Rarely are we exactly neutral. And then, just as you become aware of that, you start to rock a little bit forward and a little bit back. Good. And then, once you find that neutral, you stick it. Keep it right where you are. And then lift the pelvic floor. Lift the pelvic floor all the way up and then start to lift up through the front of the spine, all the way up to the collarbones. All right, let the shoulders pull back, let the elbows come back and in. And then let the chin drop down just a tad. Close the eyes. And then we'll start with those 3 cleansing breaths. So 3 times, just breathing in through the nose, open the mouth, sigh through the mouth. And then after taking those sighs, allowing the breath to slowly just come in and out through your nose. Perhaps noticing which nostril is dominant on the inhalation, and also noticing where the breath is touching. Where do you feel the breath as you exhale when you breathe out? Nostrils, perhaps the upper lip. And then I want you real quick just to think about, 2 things that are uniquely special about you. If somebody were to go around and interview some of the closest people in your lives, and they were to say, what is it that makes them special? What is a unique gift that they have? What would those people say? It could be a characteristic of your personality, it could be a physical trait, a way that you act, think. And then after you think of those 2 things, you're just going to say to yourself in your mind, for example, if one of them was funny, you would say, I am funny. So, whatever your trait is, your uniquely special thing about you, take 2 sentences and say to yourself, I am that. And then before you open your eyes here in just a moment, just assessing once again your posture, your seated mountain pose. Did anything change? Did you start to move to your default? Right? Anything at all that might be different, just noticing that, observing that. And then letting your eyes slowly start to gently open back up. Lovely. All right, you're going to take your hands just kind of behind you on the seat of the chair. Bring your hips forward a bit and your feet obviously forward a bit. And you're just going to come up onto the toes, the tippy toes here, and we're going to do just a windshield wipering of the knees side to side, right? We call this traction twist a lot. So you can just let the knees go side to side like so. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, take whichever knee is kind of in front of the body in the middle, and you're just going to start to draw that knee down a little bit. It's going to give you a bigger twist if that's something you're looking for, right? Try that on both sides. If you do it and you think that's not for me today, right, then you're just moving those knees side to side. Good. Nice, gentle opening. Let's do one more each side. Perfect. All righty, bring it back to center and make sure the feet are about hip distance apart. You're going to do a knee hug with the right knee. So you're just drawing that right knee in towards your chest here, right? You can grab behind the thigh. If you're able to grab around the shin, do that. And it's going to help that knee come a little bit further in, but keep the chest lifted nice and high. And just start to take some ankle rolls here. Rolling that ankle out. Good. And then reverse it, go the other direction. Great. Now, everybody grab behind your thigh, even if you were around the shin a moment ago. And we're going to do these little extensions. So you straighten the leg, then you bend the knee. Okay. When you're straightening that leg, your foot is flexed. You're pushing the heel away. Lovely. Good. Now bring that knee so that it is bent, and you're going to place your hands behind you. You're just going to try to hold that knee up. You're going to feel some of the abdominals starting to work a little bit. Good. And then start to make little circles, right? You want this a little more challenging. Your leg might straighten more as you do the circle. If you want less challenging, the circle's tiny. You can even have your toes on the floor. Good. Go ahead and bring that down. And then you're going to bring it right across. So we're coming into a quick pigeon pose here. I want you to stay upright very early in the class right now. And then you're going to take those ankle circles again. Good. Bring it the other direction. Awesome. Now, if you don't have socks on, this works. You are going to take your fingers and put them in between your toes. Okay. It's a great way to actually get your toes to stretch, right? If you can really get them down in there. And then now you're going to use your hand to make those circles. So you just let the muscles of the ankle relax and let the fingers do all the work. And then you're going to roll it the other direction, of course. It's hard to get that space right down there at the bottom of the toes. And release that. Very good. And we're going to take some cat cows and then we're going to do all those things on the other side. Okay, so you're going to cat cow it out as you exhale at the background. And as you inhale, let the back arch. Beautiful. Cat cows are so nice because no matter where you have tension or tightness along your spine, which everyone seems to have it somewhere, right? Cat cow stretches it out. It could be the low back or the middle back or the upper back or the neck or the shoulders, the chest. Cat cow kind of gets it all. Let's do one more full one here. And after that full one, we'll meet back in your neutral. Awesome. All right, so come into the left side now and starting with that knee hug. So you might grab behind your thigh, you might grab around the shin. You're just going to draw that knee in towards the chest here and then make some circles with this ankle. And reverse it, go the other direction. Very nice. All right, grab behind the thigh, flex the foot. We're just doing those leg extensions. So try to keep that chest nice and lifted. You're straightening the leg as much as you can, right? And then the knee is going to bend and you're going to draw it back in. Yes. So good. Stretch the back of the legs. Good. And then you're going to bend that knee, right? Place your hands kind of behind you if you can. Try to see if you can hold that knee just for a moment, right? And then you're going to start to see if you can bring it in a little bit of a circle, right? So if you want a more challenge, you're working on letting that leg straighten as it goes away, bend as it comes in, right? If you want less challenge, then your circles are smaller. Maybe your toes are on the floor. You're just lifting them up a tad. And we're working on strength of the quad and the hip flexor. If you don't feel that, that's where we're going. Good. One more circle. And then release it down and then come into pigeon pose on this side. Should feel good after all that work. All right. So just go ahead and roll the ankle. Just a couple rolls and then reverse it other direction. Good. And then you're taking those fingers and you are putting them in between the toes. And you're trying to get them down. Try to get the fingers down as far as you can. You're going to feel a pretty decent stretch. And then now keep the ankle relaxed and let the arm, the hand, the fingers, right, roll it in a circle. That actually helps to move the toes a little bit. So it'll make that stretch with the toes a little better too. And then reverse it, bring it back around the other direction. It's not something you do often, so it like always feels really weird, right, when you put your fingers in your toes. But it's good. Why not do things that you don't do often? All right, release that. We're gonna come back into some cat cows. We'll do our barrel rolls and all that jazz too. So a few more cat cows for you. Remember, you exhale, bring that tailbone forward, round the back, let the head drop. As you inhale, you're reversing that, letting the back arch one vertebra at a time. Bring yourself right into some barrel rolls. Okay, so now making that circle with the waist. And of course, reversing that circle, other direction. All right, bring yourself back to center. And we'll take some shoulder rolls. So make sure you're neutral. You're not forward, you're not back. And both shoulders at a time. Slow it down though, right? Go really slow as you go back and around. And try to squeeze the muscles as the shoulders go up and back, right? So you're going to squeeze the muscles. And what that does is it helps to kind of squeeze all the blood, make some good blood flow. Breathe deep. You can bring some oxygen into those muscles too. Good. Yes, this is always a good one. And release. And then we'll take some elbow circles. So, Myrna, if you need your modification, will be more like so. Okay. Otherwise, your fingertips are coming on your shoulders. Yep. And you're taking those circles. Yeah, beautiful. And one more circle here. Yeah, awesome. And release it down. So we're going to stand up, grab some water, right? Take your time to transition. Good. All righty. So we did this a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. You are actually going to stand at the side of your chair. So the back seat of the chair. Um, for me, it's next to my right side. Good. All right. So you're going to put your right foot in the chair. And you want to be able to hold on to the back of the chair with your hand so you have it for support. Okay. Now look down and take a look at your left foot and notice if your toes are out to the side at all, right? Usually when I do this and I'm in person, almost everybody's toes are slanted out a little bit. So you want to make sure that your toes are pointing forward. And it might feel a little different, but that's okay. And then spread the toes and press the heel down a lot, just like we do when we're sitting down. Okay, so press the heel down, feel the muscles in the legs get super strong, and then lift the chest up. Good. Now also press the heel down in the chair, and you should feel your glute, right, the buttock area, and a little bit of your hamstring really engage when you do that. Awesome. Keep the chest lifted. Both heels are going to press, right? If you're in arm restrictions, you might lift your arm here. You might place your hand on your hip. Or if you're not, you can lift your arm all the way up. Think bicep by the ear. Good. Now keep pressing the heels down. Gently hinge from the hip crease. The only thing that moves is the torso comes forward just a tad. It's not a lot. And then you're going to bring yourself back up. So we're going to do that a couple times. Press the heels down a lot. Right? The torso, the spine does not change. You're just hinging forward. Hinge forward. Feel the abs start to grip. Use the abdominals. Bring yourself back up. Awesome. One more time. Press those heels down. Bring it forward, hinge forward. It's not a big hinge, just a little bit. Use the abdominals. Bring yourself back up. Beautiful. Go ahead and release the arm if it's up. Drop the foot. And we're going to go the other side. You can just switcheroo, or you can turn your chair. Whatever works for you. All right. Left foot comes up onto the chair. Hold the back of the chair with your left hand, right? It's always good to have that support. And then you guys already know where we're going. So look down at your right toes. Are they pointed out a little bit? Like usually they are, right? So you want to make sure those toes are pointing forward, even if it feels a little weird. And then you're going to push down a lot through the heel. So when I'm not pushing through the heel, like I kind of hang in my hip, right? I'm obviously exaggerating a little bit to show you, but I mean, I really do just kind of hang here. When I push down through my heel, my hip automatically squeezes in and I get taller. Okay. Press down through the left heel, the one that's in the chair. Push that heel down and feel the glute, the hamstring. It's going to grip. And then your hand can be on your hip. You might reach it out in front like so, or you might reach that right arm up. Think again, bicep near the ear. Okay, good. Press the heels down a lot. Hinge from the hip crease. You're hinging forward just a tiny bit. It's not much, but the legs are very strong. And then use those abdominals. Pull yourself back up. Good. We're doing it 3 times in total. So press those heels down. Feel yourself get tall. Reach forward as you hinge. Use the abdominals. Bring it all the way back up. Good. One last time. Heels press down a lot, right? That's your foundation. Those are your roots. And then you hinge forward. Make sure that right heel is pressing. And then you bring yourself all the way back up. Awesome. Release that right arm. Take that left foot out of the chair. Come into sun salutations. Good. Wonderful, wonderful. Just trying to set up your legs and your core here. Nice little exercise. And it's a little balance too, which is fun. All right. So you're in your standing mountain pose. You have that line. It's imaginary. Feet are forward. Beautiful. So Myrna, same thing as yesterday, right? You can have your hands just kind of right here when we're doing the forward folds coming up and down. And I'm assuming that's probably a no-no for you if you can't lift your arms. If you're not allowed to do your arms like this, then you're not gonna be able to do down dog, right? So you can kind of stay right here, right? When we go to warrior one, just step back, step back. Does that make sense? Okay. All righty. So inhale, reach those arms. Exhale, fold from the hip crease, forward fold. Come into your forward fold, hands on the chair. Good. Bend the right knee, twist to the left. So left hand to the hip or left arm can lift up. Beautiful. Good. Bring yourself back to center, switch sides, left knee bends, right hand to the hip, twist, or you can reach that right arm up high. Beautiful. Bring it all the way back to center. Come back, down dog, Adho Mukha. Good. Just a couple breaths here. Whether you're in a forward fold or a downward facing dog, focus on lengthening the spine, lifting the tailbone up. Right, letting the chest move towards the chin. Beautiful. Right leg forward, left leg back. Warrior one. Again, keep your hands on the chair, the back seat of the chair. You can place your hands on your hips and come out to the side, or you can reach them all the way up. Whatever is best for you. Love it. All right, you guys have all been with me probably at least a year. So push back through that left leg, to push, 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 push. Let that right knee sink maybe a little bit deeper. Let the right knee push forward a bit as the left heel pushes back. Beautiful. Take those hands down. Come back into your down dog. Stay here a moment. Same thing. I want you to think of lifting up and back through the tailbone, even if you're in forward fold, lengthening the spine, right? So tailbone reaches back, chest is moving towards the chin. Good. Warrior one, other side. Left leg forward, right leg back. Determine your hand position. Good. And then really engage that right leg. So push the right leg back, press that right heel down a lot, and then bring your left knee forward a little bit, right? So the right heel and leg are pushing back and down. The left knee is pushing forward. That nice, lovely stretch. Beautiful. Everybody take those hands down, come into a forward fold. So if you want to take chair, you can. If you want to stay in forward fold, by all means, stay in forward fold. So chair pose, toes are going to lift, shift your weight back, drop the hips. Maybe you reach the arms. Chair pose. Utkatasana. Good, very nice. Breathe here. Pretend you have a block in between your legs. Squeeze that block. Squeeze it, squeeze it. It's like the heels don't even move, but you're squeezing the heels towards the midline, towards each other. Awesome. Very nice. Everybody inhale, rise and shine. Love it. Exhale, take to the heart. Good. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Good. Right knee bends. Left arm lifts, twist. And switch sides. Left knee bends, right arm lifts, twist. Good. Bring it back to center. Walk it back, down dog. Focus on lengthening the spine. Another way to say it is sometimes I've gone around and I've taken a belt and I've gone behind people in down dog and I've taken that belt right where their hip crease is. And then I pull their pelvis up and back. So imagine I'm doing that to you right now. There's a belt right where the hip crease is. And someone is pulling that back, up and back. Awesome. Warrior one, right side. Push back through that left leg, forward through the right knee. Good. Take the hands to the chair. Just come into high lunge. Okay, so you're just flipping that left heel up. So you're on the ball of the left foot. You can even push your left foot back a little bit if you want to get deeper into the lunge. Let those hips sink more. Okay, you might take your hands to your hips. You might lift your left arm. If you feel sturdy and stable, you might lift both arms. Right, but just like in Warrior One, that back leg is a big focus that we forget about. Push back through the left heel and straighten that left leg a lot, right? So you want to make this left leg strong so that the right leg doesn't get so tired so quickly. Awesome. Go ahead and take those hands back down and bring yourself back, downward facing dog. Right, so I've got a belt behind you, and I'm pulling your pelvis with that belt back and up. Just imagine that and see if you can make your pelvis go backing up just a little, right? If you're in a forward fold, I can take that same belt and just pull back, straight back. Awesome. Left leg forward, warrior one. Determine where you want those hands. Push back through the right leg, forward through that left knee. Breathe here. Good. Take the hands to the chair, coming into that high lunge. So you just kind of come up onto the right ball of the foot. If you want to scoot that foot back a little more, and then you can bend your left knee a little more and you can drop the hips some, right? That's an option. You might take your hands to your hips if you feel really sturdy. You might lift your right arm. You might lift your left arm, right? But remember, because we're holding this for a moment, we're not just in and out. This left leg, front leg gets tired fast, right? Push back through the right leg, the back leg, engage this leg. Push the heel back, press the thigh back, make this right leg work for you. So it takes 50% of the work. Awesome. Take those hands to the chair, bring it forward, forward fold. If you want to take a chair pose, you can. If you want to rest it out, stay in your forward fold, right? So you got that imaginary block if you're in chair. Take your feet, think of the middle of your feet, the midline. Draw them towards each other. Like the feet don't actually move, right? But you draw them towards each other. You're going to feel all these muscles in the legs just fire. Good. Inhale, rise and shine all the way up. Exhale to the heart. Good. You guys look great. We're going to do one more. We're going to add on a little cheetah work. Okay. Inhale, reach. And exhale, fold. Bend the right knee, twist to the left. Good. Very nice. Bend the left knee, twist to the right. Bring it on back to center. Walk it on back. Downward facing dog. Good. Right leg comes forward. Warrior one. Virabhadrasana. Engage that left leg. Perfect. You have two options. Okay. If you feel really balanced and strong today, right, you can transition to high lunge without taking the hands down, right? You just lift that heel and you turn the leg forward. Otherwise, you'll take your hands down like we've been doing and you transition into your high lunge. And then you place your hands wherever you want them to be. Good. Press through that left heel, back heel. Press through that left thigh. Good. Bring those hands down. Bring it back, down dog. We're just doing this quickly to switch sides. Good. Left leg forward. Warrior one. You can keep your hands on the chair. You can take them at the hips. You can be straight out. You can lift them up. Good job. Don't make that front leg tired. Push back a lot through that back leg. And then again, determining what you want to do. You can take your hands down to come into your high lunge. If you want to take that added challenge, right? You lift that right heel. You got to turn your leg forward to get in that high lunge. Either way. Good. Very nice. Keep that breath going. Push back through the right leg. You got it. We're almost out of this. Great. Take those hands to the chair. Everyone come into forward fold. We're going to do our cheetah. Okay. So cheetah is that little bit of core work. Hands are going to stay on the chair. Bring that right foot back, maybe, or right leg back. Maybe your toes are on the floor. Maybe you lift your leg. Doesn't matter. You're going to point the toes, exhale, round the back. Bring your knee and nose towards each other. Flex the foot, straighten the leg behind you. Good. Two more. Point the toes, bring it in. Straighten it. And then one more time. Point the toes, bring it in. And then straighten it out. And that right foot comes down. We go to the other side. The left foot is behind you. Maybe you keep the toes down. Maybe you lift the leg. Good. Point the toes. Round the back. Cheetah pose. Think of knee and nose touching. Flex the foot. Push it on back. Good. Point the toes. Bring it in. And flex the foot. Bring it back. One more time. Point those toes. Bring it in. And flex the foot. Bring it back. Very nice. Go ahead and place that foot down. If you want to take your last chair pose, you can. You don't have to. Just know it's always an option. Weight is in those heels. You're in chair. Draw the feet towards each other, right? The feet don't move, but you're moving them energetically towards the midline, like the inner feet would touch. And it will make your chair pose a lot stronger. You'll feel all those muscles engage. Great. Inhale, everybody. Rise and shine. Exhale to the heart. Very good. Very good. All right. So we're going to have a seat. I just want to get a couple stretches in for the legs because we worked the legs pretty good today. And then you'll get to lay down. And we're going to do Viloma 2, which I'm excited about. We did about 6 weeks of Viloma 1. And now we'll do several weeks of Viloma 2. It'd be great. Grab some water for sure. Yep. And then we're going to come into a pigeon pose. So this time, now that we have worked the legs, if you want to lean forward, right, you can. Very nice. So when you lean forward, if you are doing that, just remember it comes from the hip crease, not from the waist. That's right here, not here. You lean forward like so. And you get this really good stretch. You should feel it in that glute, side, hip, glute area. Good. About 20 more seconds. Big breaths. Love it. Release. Switch sides. Good. So you're flexing that foot. If you want to lean forward, you can. Remember, it doesn't come from the waist, but it's going to come from the hip crease. You can lean forward or you can stay upright. Either one is good. Relax the jaw, right? A lot of times we clench our teeth in pigeon pose, whether you're on your back or whether you're doing it prone or whether you're sitting. I find it's pretty universal. Okay, about 10 more seconds left. Beautiful. Release out of that. Good. We'll take a quick twist each direction. So reach the arms. Good. Yep. Exhale, twist to the right, right hand behind you, left hand outside of that right knee. You can look over the back shoulder if it feels good. Awesome. Bring yourself back to center. Yes. Good. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, twist other direction here. And again, if you want to look over that back shoulder, you can. Very good. Bring it all the way back to center. Good. You need to do anything else before you go rest and relax? Do that now. Any other positions? Go for it. Otherwise, find your comfortable place. Of course, making yourself comfortable, giving yourself the permission to let go and to relax, shift around, do anything that you need to do so that when the time is ready, you can be still. It is said that once you move into a state of relaxing, um, if you move your body physically around, it takes you out of that relaxation a bit. So just trying to get comfortable where you can rest and be. And when you get to that space, bring your eyes gently close. Maybe taking some sighs to start with. And then letting your attention fall just onto the breath. And for right now, you're going to count how long your inhalation is and how long your exhalation is. And you want your exhalation to be at least as long as the inhale, if not longer. And you also want the exhalation, the count of it, to be an even number. So if you find that the count is currently an odd number, see if you can slow down the exhale just a little tiny bit to make it the next number higher. So if it's a 5, try to make it a 6. If it's a 7, try to make it an 8. I just want to give you a moment to kind of feel like you have a decent rhythm. Now, with Veloma 2, the idea is that you create an intentional pause on the exhalation. So your inhalation is going to remain the same, just nice and smooth. I will say if at any point in time you feel the want or desire to deepen the inhale, please do. But then also please deepen the exhale as well. Okay, so you're still going to count that inhalation, and your focus is trying to breathe in from the bottom to the top. Right? So think about breathing in the floating ribs all the way up to the top, and also making that inhalation very three-dimensional. So what I mean by that is not don't just breathe the front of the body. Can you breathe into the waist and the side of the chest? Can you breathe into the back? Right? So you make it more of a circle, or really the way our body is built, more of an oval. And that breath comes all the way up. And then you're going to pause. And then on the exhalation, you're going to breathe out halfway. So that's why it has to be an even number. So you breathe out halfway and you're going to pause. And then when you feel the need to breathe the rest of the way out, you're going to breathe the other halfway out and pause. And before you take an inhalation in, I want you to pull the belly button towards the spine. It's not a huge movement. It's just a little right belly button pulls into the spine. You're going to feel this air come out that you thought was already out. And then you're going to relax the belly completely and let the inhalation take place. So it will help you breathe in more deeply by creating kind of that vacuum effect. Okay, so that's the cycle that you're working on. We're all breathing at different rates. So I'm just kind of talking you through it. Right, so that exhalation, you're breathing half of the air out. Think of, if you can, breathing the top half out, right? The chest down to maybe the bottom of the sternum. And you pause. And then you breathe the second half out. And you pause. And when you feel like you're almost ready to inhale, you pull that belly button in. You're going to feel this rush of air release, and then you relax the belly completely. And you breathe in as the belly relaxes, and it creates this big vacuum, and you get this huge inhalation that is typically much, much more effortless than it is without using this technique of that belly button pulling in. And as you get comfortable with this, which might be today, it might be in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. We're going to do this for several weeks, just like we did with the Loma One. As you get comfortable with this, you'll find that you can deepen the inhale and deepen the exhale, and that you can hold in those retentions just a tad bit longer. Right? So your focus is taking that inhalation, pausing at the top, exhaling the top half out, pausing, exhaling the bottom half out, pausing. When you are ready, almost ready to breathe in, you pull that belly button in. So you got to give yourself chance and time to do that. And then you relax the abdomen completely as you breathe in. Get that deeper inhalation. You repeat it over. Then you pause at the top of the inhale. And then you do that stepped exhale. So I'm going to be quiet for probably a full 3 minutes. Um, so you can play with that and practice that a bit. And then when I come back, it'll be about time to return. So if you want to continue resting, practicing, and just stay where you are, stay in that place of peace. If you need to come back, and when you do that, you will wiggle your fingers and toes. You'll stretch and move in any way that feels comfortable. And you will eventually come up to that much appreciation for joining me with your energy, with your presence today. Peaceful thoughts, peaceful words, peaceful intentions. Namaste.